Welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. I had to call my ace from the bullpen today. Just got off the plane, and I was like, I need to talk to Brian, and we hadn't talked yesterday about the craziness of Florida State. So, Brian, thank you for coming on as always. Uh, I've listened to your shows. You've done a great job breaking it all down, but I just wanted to chat with you. And okay, we ended Saturday night saying it was awful, it was horrible. But maybe there's a silver lining coming Sunday or Monday. Um,
Sure.
that silver lining turned into a lump of coal, I guess. The best way I can describe it. Even the media was reporting within 24 hours it's done. Obviously, this administration is very close. People don't talk about this administration at FSU is very good at keeping things close to the vest. But that being said, I'm sitting in a hotel room yesterday and I get the alert from Michael Alford. And it wasn't even an alert. I mean, it was a long text message on the screen. You would have thought that, all right, maybe let's do it a little on a nice letterhead or something, little professionally done. It looked like he texted like ChatGPT and sent it out. That Mike's going to stay on. And I can't remember the last time I seen Florida State fans that upset on the internet. And I understand the internet's not the be all end all. The craziest fans tend to reside there. Like, I'm not naive to it. But even the people I know who are rational on X lost their minds yesterday. I said I wasn't going to take part in it because I was like, they're doing it for me with the frustration. I mean, what do you think was going to happen on Sunday? What do you think changed things? What do you think the current situation is there at Florida State right now?
A couple of things. Number one, I even got a message from somebody that doesn't work at Florida State, but works in the industry with NIL and all that. And he's like, starting to hear some things. And I was like, okay. And there were some other rumblings that you were referring to. And I thought, well, by the middle of the week at the latest, however they handle this, it'll be done. And then that happened on Monday morning. And I didn't expect it to be like that. Here's the way I look at it. And I'm a recruiting NIL transfer portal guy, so I look
Right.
at things a little different. But the way you did it, you leave recruits in limbo. The players don't know what's going to happen, although it sounds like from what I've gathered from various people that have posted stuff, this isn't for me. The players didn't even care when Norvell said, I'm going to be the coach. Like there was no emotion. Not a good sign. And they just don't have it's kind of like apathetic. Everything they do, even on the field, they played hard. But Jeremy, they had 13 penalties against Stanford. I mean, it was like the 75 Raiders without the talent.
That
And
was
it's
Willie
just,
Taggart numbers in penalties.
that's what I mean. It was just
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
goofiness, like with the
Oh,
stupidity they had. And they played like, I hope Tommy's good, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. He took a really bad hit there at the end. That was awful. But they played physically hard. It's just like they had no idea. They were scatterbrained. And that's
yeah.
usually the beginning of the unraveling of the ball yarn. You know what I mean? It's just like you can see it's just starting to fall apart. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. They have a bye. Either they come out really red hot against Wake Forest or they're done. There won't be a middle ground. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
This is another, and I hate using this term, but it's true. It's another helmet game, meaning they're not going to care. Nobody cares about Wake Forest. They don't. You
Yeah.
can threaten the kids. You can do whatever you want. They're not going to be up for Wake Forest. But I'm telling you, as I was mentioning to you before the game, I'm just going to, for FSU fans, you're going to know the name Damon Claiborne real quick. 69
Yeah.
carries, 539 yards, 7.8 and 8 touchdowns. He's one of the fastest guys in college football. He's electric. They've got a couple of receivers that are big body guys. They can move the ball. If Florida State comes out flat, especially with their pass defense, which is not great now because everybody just kills the linebackers, this game could get out. I think they could get beat bad. Like I think this could be 27-14, something like that. I really do.
I think it could be worse. I thought Stanford the other night was Jimbo's 2017 Boston College game and
Yeah.
Willie's Miami game.
Yeah.
I thought those were the games where you knew the team is checked out. The message is falling on deaf ears. Not that Willie we knew before, but that was the complete. If you saw up like that against a rival, you knew. Which we kind of had this year with Miami. I said, that's it. Like the circus is over. I guess I was wrong. I don't know how you trot him out there.
Well,
I just don't. I mean, it's
hey, did you?
homecoming, so more people will show up than maybe they would have on a bad season.
The weather's perfect if you're going to go to a game
Yeah,
late October. I mean, it's still pretty warm, but it's not like I won't go
of
to
course.
games in fourth quarter in like August and September. I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
But if you're going to go, this is when you do. But I'll tell you this: if they play bad, the third quarter, look at the stands first play third quarter compared to the first play first quarter.
Yeah,
Because as you know, Florida State fans are very loyal, but everybody has a breaking point.
and it's a night game too, so people have had all day to get lubed up.
Yeah, so they might just go to the halftime
Mhm.
tailgate and watch. Your buddy down the road has a TV outside or something like that. If you're a
Yep.
Tallahassee resident, and if you're not local, you just listen to it on the radio driving home. That's
Yeah.
that's what's going to
Are
happen.
they going to go to college town and drown their sorrows? Um,
Yep.
I
And
think a lot want to come early just to boo Norvell when they introduce him. I mean, people are at the point now where they think everybody was qualifying it for a while, and I still will too, to a degree that they say, "Man, I like Mike. I like Mike. This is just unfortunate." Now they have venom towards him, saying, "Look how selfish you are, staying on as coach." That's when things get really ugly. I mean, they
well,
said anybody in this situation should be walking in saying, "What can we do to make this amicable?"
well, here's the situation. As you know, the people in North Florida are pretty nice. You walk down
Yeah.
the street, people say hi to you, that kind of thing.
Oh,
And the
absolutely.
local media, by and large, it's a rare media. For people that don't know, most media members around the country, they're not covering the team they grew up rooting for. They just got a job there. That's
Yeah.
reality. For the most part, not all, but for the most part, the Florida State media roots for the Noles. And I was listening to the On the Bench podcast, the guys at Noles 24/7. All those guys live it and breathe it. And
Yeah.
they are done. I mean, they
Yeah.
dropped bombs about this. And one of them, Sinone, said, he brought up a good question. He goes, how do I cover the team from this point? And I
Yeah.
just sat there and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, well, I'm not local media. I'm just a podcaster. It's one of the reasons I'm not, because I would not be, they would hate seeing me walk in the press because I don't care. But it's,
So one of the reasons I think we were like meant to meet, Brian.
yeah, but it's difficult because you still have to do your job. Like Chris Nee said, I'm going to ask every week. They can get mad at me. I'm going to ask every week. And we
Yeah.
knew what he meant. They got 5 games. This is going to be a death march. And I
Oh,
feel bad for the people in the building, that like the secretaries and all the people that have to read the emails and pick up the phone. There's going to be awkwardness that we don't really hear about. Messages from fans, emails. There's going to be a
when you
lot of
lose the
really nice.
media in Tallahassee,
What's that?
it's when you lose the media in Tallahassee,
That's
it's
what
a
I'm
wrap.
saying. That's hard
Like
because
you
those
said,
people are
because they
loyal.
are so loyal and they've been extra patient with Mike because of the
Yeah.
access he's given in the past. That's why they really gave
Yeah.
him a pass on 2-10 last year in a way that no other coach would have had that. But I'm going to give a shout out first to my friend Ashley. She's a rock star. She's a YouTube podcaster for the Dolphins, and she was just shouting out the North Florida people. She's a rock star, and she's like, "How do I cover the Dolphins? At least you can talk about the offseason and the draft and free agency. Florida State, we're just in limbo, and you don't have to worry about Mike McDaniel's buyout."
Yeah.
But Ashley, those are great points. Thank you for chiming in. Russell Smith, if not Norvell, not DC. Yeah, I mean, trust me, Odell would make sense if he were to take over
Odell
interim
should be your
because
probable
yeah,
interim
then
because
you don't have to mess with the staff at all,
yeah.
and that would work perfectly. I don't think it's going to happen though. I mean, now maybe I don't know. Michael Alford is the type of guy that won't fire somebody if he doesn't have the next guy lined up. That's the
Well,
only thing I'm going to say to defend him because I
here's the
can't.
problem.
Yeah,
Last game is the 29th of November. It's that last weekend after Thanksgiving.
yeah,
Signing day is the following Wednesday. This isn't a Florida State problem. Let me be very clear.
yeah.
Florida's going to have this problem. LSU could end up firing Brian Kelly. Auburn could end up firing Hugh Freeze. Penn State's
Fickle.
already fired James. Like, there's a bunch of schools that are in limbo, and all these coaches are going different. Like I did a second show today on Locked On Seminoles, and I did a thing on Rhett last week at SMU. I think he would be a great fit at Florida State. But every one of these coaches is going to want to finish their season. So your recruiting class is in limbo at best. And then the transfer portal opens on January 2nd through the 16th. Whoever you hire, it's not gonna happen until you get put so far behind now. It is awkward. So I feel bad, but they're the ones that put them in this. And at this point, I know what I'm about to say goes against me in general because I'm a recruiting guy. But if you've got to wait till January to hire a coach and just get hammered, you got to hire the right coach. But
of course.
Coaches, most, not all. I don't think Lashley's going to the playoff this year at SMU, although he did it last year. Good for him. You got to wait. And that could mean next year is a catastrophe. Yeah. You think this is bad? In some ways, it could be worse because it depends on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. Have you seen next year's schedule?
Yeah, I know. They play
brutal. And do you want
Bama on the road, and they got Notre Dame at home. Those are two probable losses.
Florida, Miami, Louisville, SMU.
Yeah, I mean they could be 5-7 next year and be a better team. But that's the thing. You've got to get the right coach. Like a lot of guys started in their first years. Like Bobby Bowden sucked his first year at Florida State. Will Holtzel's terrible his first year at Notre Dame. Right. You're turning the culture around and all that. Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year at Alabama. Yeah. Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
It happens. The first year, whatever you get, go tailgate.
No, I agree. And
it's a bonus.
You have to look for positives in the recruiting world in that situation. I think Florida State fans I think Florida State fans, after what we've been through with Norvell in the recruiting world, you're right. If we're 5-7, we could be a lot better. But if we see actual high school talent coming in, that can actually contribute. Because Mike has just been signing guys to sign guys. I mean, was it you that told me that we're not going to have a starter from the 23 class?
I don't know if it was me, but like if you look at the
which was the year we went undefeated. Like
I know. So, those guys would be juniors right now. There's a few of the DBs that would fit that category, and then the 24 class is decent, so is 25. But it's the 21 and 22 classes that are the problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Go look at your seniors and your fifth-year seniors on this roster. How many of them were transfers and how many of them were developed by coming to Florida State via the high school ranks? It's a low number.
It's pathetic. When you hear the numbers, it's pathetic.
Some of those kids were really talented too. So part of that's coaching development, strength conditioning. It could be a million things, but they missed however it happened. I mean, I'm not in the building. Well, it's insane though. It's insane. So
yeah. And I get tired of hearing from the NIL standpoint because we're getting run circles around by teams that spend considerably less than us. And I hate what upsets me the most is when they say, we'll just increase the NIL budget. Just increase the NIL budget. You still have to coach those kids up and develop them. This isn't the NFL where anybody can really coach a star-studded team. And Mike has proven he can't do that at this level. I mean, we were just talking before, how many quarterbacks he's ruined at Florida State? I mean, Chubba Purdy, Tate Rodemaker,
the list.
Brock Glenn. There's more. I know I'm missing a few. It's unbelievable. That's what he was brought in to do, was run his offense and develop. Yeah. Has never done it. And we talked about that to no end, but that's what I'm saying is it was just so poorly handled yesterday. And I think it was Simone that said, I've never seen somebody from Florida State to insult the fans' intelligence so much. I mean, the media's gloves have come off. And just to talk back on your point, I never thought I'd say that. I mean, they're still being classy. I'm actually interested in how the press conference goes next week. I mean, Tony White said today he received death threats on social media.
That's not surprising, but
it's not surprising. But if it didn't happen, it's sad. And I'll never condone that. But a lot of people are saying, show the proof, because if you just said it willy-nilly, that's bad. The team quit. I watched it the other night. I mean, we can even talk about Edwin Joseph. That's fine. They quit. I heard about after the game, they were laughing and joking around and mocking Norvell. Even at halftime, when Mike likes to gather the team and do the whole speech before they go to the locker room. Man, they looked like they were in a library, like not paying attention to anything.
Yeah,
And I was afraid of that going into the game.
Well, I'm just going to ask you this then, Jeremy.
Please.
If they're close or even down going into half, if they're down, I think it's almost a rock solid reasoning of they didn't play hard because they're better than Wake Forest. But they've got a few really talented skill guys. They should kill them in the trenches. They won't. If they go into halftime down 7 or more, do they show up in the second half at all?
Not at all.
That's kind of what I'm.
They have to jump out 14-0 by skill or by fluke. And
yeah, they need a spark to give them a reason to play.
And they've had no spark. Yeah, they need like an early score and then like a scoop and store or a pick six.
Here's my other concern, and again, I have no idea. If Tommy was concussed, which it's pretty obvious he was, and he can't play, I mean, it's tough. You know, you got a freshman quarterback out there. I'm not going to be on Kevin Sperry if he goes out and throws 3 picks. He's a true freshman.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But that's not going to motivate the guys that are at least considering, which there are probably many, entering the transfer portal after all this mess ends at the end of the season. So with that being said, that's just another hole. But like I talked about this again today on Locked On Seminoles. The next coach, think about the offensive skill talent at FSU for the next coach. Mekhi Danzy is going to be a 10-year NFL wide receiver.
If we can keep him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know him because he's a Tallahassee kid and he's a track kid. He just wanted to go to Florida State. I asked him, he goes, I just wanted to stay home and be local.
Oh, nice.
Like, he's a very simple kid.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But like he's not somebody that needs flashy. Like I'm sure he could go
to
like
a 2-year NIL deal or something like that, where Jeff Cameron explained it that with his type of deal, if another school tries to get him, they would have to pay us
right
to offset that.
The only thing that's going to get him away from Florida State is the spikes, meaning he just gives up football, which he probably should, and just run track and go to the Olympics. Which, if he did that, I wouldn't blame him because your knees are never messed up that way. He's one of the fastest human beings on planet Earth, literally.
Yeah.
So I would have no problem with that. But you know, look at the running back room, look at the tight end room. You got Wayne McCoy, Elijah Moore, all these guys. The next coach has something to work with.
I can't say
it's not being used. Well, he may not. I don't know, but Deuce gets all the reps at the boundary spot.
Yeah.
So whoever's next can make it. He could be the guy. Who knows? It could be Tariq Mallory. It could be whoever. That's a competition for the spring. But they've got skill guys like crazy.
Oh, they do. Oh, we do. Obviously, offensive line, we've discussed that to no end. But no, when I was sitting at the Arizona State game, the guy next to me brought up Deuce Robinson. And first he said, he's local, right? I said, of course. And then he said to me, it came down to us and you for him. And he said
they would have put him opposite of that other receiver they got, Tyson. Holy moly.
Yeah. I said, I can't say, he's better off with us now. He said, I don't know. He said, I mean, like a homer, he was like, I don't know if Deuce wanted to be number 2 next to him.
Tyson's
awesome. But we were talking before we went on air about Kenny Dillingham, and I bring him up because he's a Knoll. And I watched their offense closely the other day, being at the game. I don't know if you caught their game at all.
I watched part of it.
Okay. Kenny has given up play calling. I don't know if he was that much. Yeah, Marcus Arroyo is running the show there.
Okay.
And I was trying to watch for, man, am I seeing the Norvell offense here? Am I seeing the Norvell offense here? And I was in some ways, and I wasn't. But I was watching them do simple things. Now, they have a quarterback who's got ice water in his veins, which always helps. But I was watching it, and I was like, why aren't we using our tight ends the way they were using number 7 there? When you have a Randy Pittman, when you have a Landon Thomas still on the team?
He was the most gifted tight end.
In my show with you, I think we're wasting talent there too now.
He's one of the more talented tight ends in college football, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, do you think Mike does finish out the season, or do you think we have another loss where Alfred's like, I had to recircle, Do you think there's a power struggle going on between the administration and Alford, where they don't want him to make the hire,
Well,
and that's
that's
why?
the other thing. That's an interesting point. I'll address this directly here. Bud
Please.
Elliott, big FSU guy, obviously, said he thinks that there's a chance that Alford will be fired too, just like everybody else. The guy at Florida could be like, anytime there's a coaching change, it's, do you want this athletic director to be a part of the search? Sometimes they go too. I don't know anything about Alford. I don't know the man.
Yeah.
But who would they? Because if you get rid of him, that's more money. That's another decision. It is complex because they may not want him to be part of the decision making, but it's not like you're just going to, in 2 seconds, bring in an AD from another institution. So that's just another layer of complexity to put on top of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So Florida State, out of all of these deals, is the most complex.
Yeah.
Because they beat Alabama and everybody thought, okay, they're going to survive. I mean, even Penn State, who was preseason top 5, they didn't look great against Oregon offensively. They were terrible. Defense is still pretty good. But, like, they haven't changed at all since Frank. Like, they just are the same team every year. And everybody knew there was going to be a problem at some point. It just – nobody thought it was going to be UCLA and Northwestern. That is so bizarre.
Yeah, you figured by Ohio State.
Yeah, I thought they'd get beat 34-17 or something like that.
Yeah.
But Northwestern was more physical. Like, it was wild. So, by the way, I just want to make this statement now. I had a bunch of people in my chat on Locked On Seminoles the other day say, we want James Franklin. And I will agree, he's a pretty good coach, but he is a high floor, low ceiling guy.
Yeah.
He's a great recruiter, but he cannot maximize. He sucks on game day.
Yeah.
I'm okay if you hire him, but I don't want to hear one word in year 3 when it's the same thing over and over. Then in year 4, it's the same. He is who he is. Yeah. You're not winning a title.
No, a leopard doesn't change his spots.
No.
And recruiting is so different now. That's why
he can recruit now. He can recruit.
Oh, he can. That's why people are so enamored with him. I think Penn State timed it perfectly when they fired him. They got out ahead of a lot of the stuff.
They did. They did.
Well done. One of these days we're going to find out what really went on that Sunday, the day after the Stanford game. When Alford took a separate flight home from the team, that was a red flag to me because I said that means he's got to make some phone calls or be on the phone with some people that he doesn't want to be near Mike for.
Yeah. I mean.
So that's why I gave it the pass of, they came back from the West Coast. Not really a good day to do it when they fired Willie. It was a home game the day before.
Sure.
I played that card in my head. So I was ready for Monday. It is what it is. I don't even know. Like, I will watch the game next week. This was if they weren't going to fire him this week, I don't see it happening. I think they want Mike to bear those losses.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, you could fire him and just and Odell doesn't care. If they lose, Odell's still FSU legend. That's the other reason you make him the interim. Yeah. And it's one of the other reasons, just as an example, what you're bringing up. Hugh Freeze, I think, will be stepping down quietly, if you know what I mean, at the end of the year. A lot of people are curious about Auburn hiring their defensive coordinator, but they still got some tough games left. Yeah. Maybe you want him to. So some people are like, we'd like to see what he would do because they got Bama at the end, like all this stuff. So there's 2 ways to look at it. Florida State doesn't have anybody on their staff, though, that is likely to take over. Like Gus is done dealing with that stuff. He'll probably go coach high school or just go coach quarterback somewhere or something. He doesn't still well.
It would be good for Tony because it's a good audition for him for a future gig, but not in this situation probably.
No, because his defense isn't playing well and the players are not happy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to UCLA now and just becomes the defense coordinator.
I think it's happening.
It might be a good thing for him to change sooner. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way he spoke today, you could tell he's, I don't want to say checked out because he still cares, I'm sure.
Tony's, I'll give that. He's not just a serious guy. He needs to win every day. It means something to him.
Yeah, he wants to win at anything.
Yeah, go fish. He's going to get mad if he doesn't win. That's just who he is, and that's good.
If I'm walking next to a door near him, he wants to be the first one at that door. You can see that competitive desire he has in him. But he said, I've never experienced anything like this in my entire coaching career. As far as like the craziness behind everything. And I'm like, you've coached in some pretty big places. We're just fed up at Florida State. And you knew that coming in. So I hear you. It's unfortunate, everything. I think Michael Alford made a lot of enemies yesterday, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, Peter Collins and them might say, yeah, we have the money to buy out Mike. We just don't want you making the hire. Because that tweet, whatever he sent, it was the most like, it was almost like he was like, had someone like this to his head saying, just write something. It didn't look like it really came from him.
Well, I even mentioned that on my pod. I said, let's be clear. If you're the athletic director, you're the mouthpiece for the athletic department.
Correct.
But that does not mean in a circumstance like this that the most expensive employee at your institution, which it's weird, but it's true. It's not the president, it's a football coach. Doesn't mean the president, the BOT, and everybody else didn't have some say in that.
Yeah.
So it's just coming through Mr. Alford, and that's fine. But some people are like, well, he should be fired for saying that. It's not him alone. Don't ever think that in these circumstances.
He still has a president to answer to, and he still has the top boosters. Now, we're not like in Auburn, where there are one or two guys there that say if they want Freeze gone, he's gone. I don't think we have it like that there, but the board of trustees have the power over him.
Yeah, it's like a corporation.
It's a corporation.
Yeah,
right now it's bad business. So it is what it is. I've never seen the media this upset. Like, I've never seen this.
That's true. Let me ask you, as a lifelong Florida State fan, give me 3 or 4 guys that you think would be good fits for Florida State.
At the moment, well, this is one of the reasons I've been so upset with Mike's job performance, because there is no clear cut. This guy will come in and we know he's going to change everything. That doesn't exist right now.
There's no guy like that in college football.
Yeah, it's not like 10, 15 years where, get 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys. I mean, each individually. And we know we're in good shape. Lane Kiffin is the closest to me. I've loved Lane Kiffin for a while. I just don't think you spend $100 million to get rid of Mike and the staff and then break the bank on him.
Well, I got news for you. He's back with his ex. You know where his ex went to school?
Florida.
Yeah. He ain't coming. He's going to be in Gainesville if he's not in.
Yeah. Something in his ex, her dad was a coach there or something.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ties. University.
There's ties, yeah.
So that's top of the board.
His daughter's graduating from there, so that yeah, I think. Ugh. So yeah, he would be the guy I want. I don't hate the James Franklin hire, but I don't love it either. But it would depend on what kind of staff he brought in. He would need a staff of serious X's and O's guys that can help him in recruiting, but he puts that more on them. But he's more of a figurehead than a coach.
I would like Rhett Lashley because I think he's young enough. Yeah. Somebody that's an offensive-minded guy. He's been a coordinator for 11 years, and he's been a head coach. He's coached in the state of Florida. He coached at Miami. Coached at Auburn. So
I love him.
Yeah, he was the coach for Auburn in 2013 when they played Florida State. He was the OC for the Tigers.
And he was 2021, the Miami offensive coordinator.
Yeah, 20 and 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. But
I think he might have a better situation right now at SMU.
It's possible. Depends on long term. Florida State's the better job, but SMU could develop into that if they keep giving him the resources because they got serious deep pockets because it's an oil money school and it's in Dallas. So that's an interesting thing.
If you're him, you can be selective where you go. So right now I wouldn't even know, and sometimes there's a head coach who's interested that you don't know about. I learned about that after we got great old Willie Taggart. So you don't know who's interested, and Jimmy Sexton and Florida State are not on good terms right now, in my opinion. So who knows how much he's going to help us.
Well, he doesn't care because you got to go through him regardless.
That's true. So, I love Rhett Lashley because the offense is going to change, and he's a good recruiter. And I think he's got a good eye for coaching talent.
He's done a really good job there at SMU. But who else? Like what?
I mean, Franklin's a name only because he's available now. That's what people are going off more than like if he was coaching at Penn State still. I don't know if people talk about him as much.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, like Stein
I
at Oregon's an offensive coordinator. I went through some of those
Glenn
guys.
Schumann at Georgia, the DC.
Yeah.
I'm done with the Group of Five stuff. I'm sure Alex Golish is a good guy, good coach. I don't want Group of Five anymore after Willie and Mike.
Yeah, I like to see how they recruit at the P4 level in
Yeah.
this environment. It's different. There's no way to get a barometer for it. It's hard. So it's a guess. And that's a
And I
big
know the counter to that is someone will say, well, Golish was the OC at Tennessee.
Yeah, but
No
he
different.
wasn't the head man dealing with the here's all you need to know.
There's Glenn Schumann, who I
Yeah.
mentioned at Georgia.
A year or so ago, Hugh Freeze was at a press conference. Somebody said, how much percent of each of your day does this, and this mean? And he said the last thing he said, about 10, 15% is dealing with NIL and random stuff coming in, like the third uncle.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, wow. So you've got to be a business guy.
Right. That's why I like Schumann, because he's seen it at Georgia with Kirby.
Oh, yeah.
Learned from one of the best. And I think
he's
been
at Georgia and Alabama too. Yeah.
And Alabama. So I love his pedigree. You know, he's learned how to recruit in whatever way necessary. But he's seen the business side of it just as much as the, coaching side from Kirby. That's why I'd rather a coordinator who hasn't been a head coach yet, but has coached at the highest level than a head coach from a Power Five. I don't want to go that route again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're Golish. I know Jeff Cameron's high on Golish, and I respect Jeff's opinion a ton.
Oh yeah,
but it's the Golish is too big a risk. You can't spend this much money to fire a coach for a guy who hasn't been at the highest level yet.
It'd be rough.
Yeah,
it'd be rough, and unfortunately, I don't think there's a home run higher in this cycle for anybody, even Florida. Like Florida's trying to get Marcus Freeman or trying to get Wayne. I highly doubt they can get Freeman. You got to try.
Or Drinkwitz, right?
Yeah, Drinkwitz doesn't want to leave, is what I was already told. Which
really,
surprised. Yeah, he's a guy that's got it pretty good at Missouri. There's a lot less stress there.
Right, and if you were to try to plug him, you're going to have to give him a raise from what he's making now.
And he's making good money. Missouri's
he's 8 to 9, I think. He's 8 to 9, I think, at Missouri. So you're already spending more than you want to. I'm not saying go cheap because you fired the coach. What's the point then? I'm just curious if there's some behind the scenes stuff like, man, we're going to hold out with Mike and see if we can negotiate a buyout as opposed to just firing him.
I don't know how that.
Let's make his life miserable. Yeah, I don't think Florida State's that cruel. But I don't know why you even agree to a buyout in the first place that you may not be able to afford. I know that's college football for you. But I don't want – and then I've heard a lot of media people suggest, man, why don't Florida State be the trendsetter in not giving these crazy contracts? Give a 3 or 4 year deal with I don't want to be a trendsetter either because it always doesn't work when we become that. But we don't need to spend $12-14 million on a Lane Kiffin right now.
I think Schumann or somebody like that might be better. I'd prefer an offensive guy. Schumann might be the one you could convince me of defensively. And he knows to recruit in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, which is Georgia and Florida State cross paths daily.
Oh yeah.
So that would be one of the exceptions I'd be okay with. But no break the bank situations again. Like Marcus Freeman's not coming down, so who would it be for anyway? So.
No. And Drinkwitz is not coming. So.
I'd be curious to see if there are any lateral moves, Florida State or otherwise. Kiffin might be the most likely, but he's got some ties to.
I mean, we forget. Yeah, Alford's been in the college game, but he's an NFL type of mind.
Mm-hmm.
They think differently in a hiring process than people who've only been college ADs. So that's where I wonder if there's a disconnect between him and the administration, him and Mike, him and hiring. What sucks with Lane is that we had him 2 years ago. Someone brought up Joe Brady. I don't think he wants to be in college.
He hates recruiting.
Yeah, he hates recruiting. He did the LSU thing for 1 year to get back to the NFL.
Yeah, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, so I'd like the name, but
never going to happen. The only way he would do it is if he came for a year as an assistant, didn't have to deal with the media. I've met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
he's kind of a Wall Street business guy in a
Mhm.
way. Those guys just they're not going to go like Jimbo liked recruiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he'd spend his free time trying to call recruits. That's not normal.
Yeah.
But
No, he's an NFL guy. I mean, certain people are designed for the NFL, some people are designed for college. He's designed for the
100%.
NFL. And that's how I see it there. But man, Brian, thank you so much for coming on. I wish we had better stuff to talk about, even if we had fired Mike and we talked about a hot board. But
Sure.
and trust me, I don't wish this. It's just I am dreading the Wake Forest game now. Even if we had an interim coach, I'd be more excited now. I
To
mean,
see how the players react, because the
uh,
ones that play hard, you would know they're more likely to stay. Right now, I don't think the kids know that limbo is probably not good.
and they follow stuff. They know what's going on. It just
Sure.
was a bad look opening the players only facility yesterday with Norvell's
I know.
quotes on the wall and his. It's just any which way that can be handled was poorly yesterday. But
Absolutely.
Brian, thank you so much. Locked on Seminoles for Brian daily content, and I'm telling you, you got some interesting people in your chat.
Oh,
To
we
your show.
do.
And this is the time of year, man, where if you're doing YouTube, you got to be careful because the people are not happy at Florida State.
Yeah, I
Um,
check it pretty regular.
yeah, for sure. But Brian, thank you again. Thanks for following the Rock and Roll channel. If you're looking for a vlog to watch, I was at Arizona State over the weekend, and great atmosphere. I mean, it was a 1 o'clock game, hot out, not like brutal, but hot. And the fans from the minute I got there to the minute that game ended, even on charging the field, were loud. I mean, it was a loud environment. So a lot of fun. ASU fans. I mean, when I wear the Florida State stuff everywhere, it gets attention, but in a good way. People want to come up and just what's going on, what's wrong. So I give
Absolutely.
my honest answer. But Brian, once again, thank you. Everybody else in the chat, Ashley, Russell, and B Savage. That's a cool name. Thank you for joining. And Brian, thank you again. I appreciate you on short notice coming on to talk about this situation at Florida State.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, take care, my friend.